Today, we're going to talk about a platform that wasn't built for crypto speculation. Not at all. Instead, it was designed from the ground up for the super complex, highly regulated world of global business and finance. Yep, we're diving deep into Corda, a distributed ledger technology built to solve real-world enterprise problems.
So here's how we'll break it down. First, we'll get into the why behind Corda, the problem it was actually built to solve. Then we'll zoom right in on its killer feature, its unique privacy-first design. From there, we'll see it out in the wild with some real-world examples, see how it stacks up against the competition, and finally, we'll look ahead to what's next in this really exciting world of finance.
All right, so let's set the stage here. Why on earth did the world need another distributed ledger platform? What was missing?
Well, this question really gets to the heart of it. You see, the first blockchains were all about being public, totally transparent. But if you're in a world like banking or finance, broadcasting every single transaction to every single person on the network, that's just a non-starter. You've got strict privacy rules, compliance, confidentiality. It just wouldn't work.
And that's where Corda comes in. It was created by R3, a company founded by people who really know capital markets. And they describe it as blockchain-inspired. Now that phrase is super deliberate. It's a huge signal that, yeah, Corda uses some of the same core ideas as blockchain, but it also makes some really fundamental changes to actually work for businesses.
And that brings us right to Corda's most critical, most important feature, how it deals with privacy. This, right here, is where it really breaks away from the rest of the pack.
Because here's the key thing you got to wrap your head around. Corda is not a traditional blockchain. Not at all. So, if it's not that, what is it? And how does it pull off the kind of privacy that others just can't?
This slide lays it out perfectly. A traditional blockchain, it's kind of like a town crier, standing in the public square, shouting every single deal for the whole world to hear. Corda, on the other hand, is like a private, notarized contract signed behind closed doors. The only people who see the details are the ones who absolutely need to. This need-to-know basis is a total game changer for these industries.
Now, this whole privacy model is made possible by a few key pieces. Everybody on the network runs a node with a verified digital identity. Think of it like a passport. The smart contracts, which they call Corda apps, are written in languages lots of developers already know, like Java. But the real secret sauce, the magic ingredient, is the notary. It's this unique service that stops anyone from spending the same money twice, but, and this is the crazy part, it does it without ever needing to see the confidential details of the transaction itself.
Okay, so we've covered the how. Now for the really fun part, the so what. How is this technology actually being used to make a difference out in the real world? And the impact? Well, it's pretty clear. We're not talking about small-time experiments here. You have trade finance with Project Voltron, which took a process that used to take days and shrunk it down to less than 24 hours. You have oil and gas with Guild 1, banking, even speeding up customer verification across 19 different countries. These are huge institutions using Corda to solve massive business headaches.
And just look at this number, 30 seconds. That's how long it took Guild 1 in the oil and gas industry to settle a super complex royalty contract. Think about that for a second. That's the kind of insane efficiency we're talking about, turning these slow, complicated processes into something that's secure and practically instantaneous.
Now, of course, Corda doesn't exist in a bubble. To really understand its place in the world, you gotta see how it stacks up against the other big enterprise platforms out there.
Okay, so the most important thing on this slide isn't about which one is best. It's about which one is the most fit for purpose. You can see right away, Corda is private by default, which is a huge difference from Ethereum. And unlike both Fabric and Ethereum, there's no single global ledger. It also uses standard languages like Java, which makes it way easier for big companies to get started. The takeaway is pretty simple. If your number one concern is rock-solid, built-in privacy for deals between specific people, Corda's entire design is built for exactly that.
So, where is all this heading? Well, the latest developments are pointing to a really fascinating new chapter. One that's all about building bridges between worlds that used to be totally separate.
Get this, $10 billion. As of early 2025, that's the value of real-world assets. We're talking things like bonds, loans, traditional financial stuff that are running on Corda platforms. This isn't just an idea anymore. This is a platform with serious, growing momentum in tokenizing the entire global economy.
And all that real-world traction is leading to this, a strategic partnership between R3, Corda's creator, and the Solana Foundation. Their goal, and this is a direct quote, is to lead the convergence of TradFi and DeFi. The whole idea is to connect Corda's regulated, permissioned world with the massive liquidity and open access of public blockchains like Solana.
It's about building a bridge between traditional finance and decentralized finance.
Which leaves us with a final, really provocative thought. For years, the whole debate was private systems versus public systems. But Corda's story seems to be suggesting that maybe the future isn't about picking one island to live on. Maybe, just maybe, it's about building secure, regulated bridges between all of them to create one truly interconnected financial ecosystem. And if that's the case, well, that could change absolutely everything.